Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am so happy to be here today, passing the torch on to Miss Denise DeBurst. Today is the day that the Lord has made. I don't know about you all, but I am glad about it. We're excited about the conversation we're going to have today. Many times we bring guests on, and you're very familiar with the way that the conversation is going because it's traditional. Well, we're not traditional here at the Mary Parker Foundation. And today, Denise will give you a description of the two individuals that we'll have conversation with. But I just wanted to take a moment to welcome each of you to our monthly community conversation and to invite you to stay tuned for all the activities and all the things that are happening here at Junction 2800, which is the home of the Mary Parker Foundation. And just briefly, I want to just encourage you. The song that you just heard, that's who we are as a community. We are raising up other generations, and it absolutely takes a village to do that. Now, without any further ado, I am so excited to introduce to some and bring forward for others who already know her, Miss Denise DeBurst as our interviewer for today. Thank you. Denise?
Thank you, Mary. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, well, once again, welcome. That's the age of technology. What can we say? Again, I'm Denise DeBurst, guys, and I am so excited to be here for this September edition of Community Conversations. This month, our topic is about wellness and health in alternative ways. And hopefully, in this next hour, we'll be able to dispel some of the myths about different wellnesses, health practices, I should say, that contain to our health. And so, first, I'll start with talking with Ms. Jean who is the owner of Premier IV Hydration and Wellness Center. So tell us a little bit about yourself and we'll talk about.
Prime IV Hydration and Wellness in Smyrna. My name is Gina Armand, and I am a nurse practitioner of 20 plus years. And I am the owner of the location located in Smyrna. I've been open for going well, and I invite you all to come through to Prime IV Hydration in Smyrna.
Is recording in progress. Talk about you. How did you come about? How did this journey for you in wellness begin?
I think the journey because I've been in healthcare for over 37 years now. I can't believe I would say it's been that long. And in that journey, I've seen a lot of health conditions. People before they got unhealthy. So that's how it started, was my desire to be part of the wellness journey, to help you before you get to you're sick and it's just, there's nothing else to do than treat your illness. I wanted to be part of the wellness, the prevention.
So tell me, that you gave us a location in Smyrna. So tell me what happens. Well, let's start with what is IV hydration, right?
IV hydration is actually, I mean, I guess the best way I can say it, if you go to the emergency room and you're ill, they start an IV and give you IV fluids. That's hydration in its simplest form. But we need to understand why that's important. And the fact that we're doing it with vitamins. When you buy oral vitamins, because of the condition of our stomach, and also just the nutrients and our ground, our food supply, you're lucky if you absorb 10 to 20% of any oral vitamins that you take. When you get IV hydration, that's 100% absorption. 1 liter of IV fluid is like you drinking 2.5 gallons of water per day. No one does that. The fact that you're bypassing your gastric area and really just all your cells are being hydrated, that's why it's so impactful. And that's why IV nutrients is superior to any other fluid.
So how do you decide, is it through questions about their health that you come up with what nutrients that they would need and then put them together? There are different combinations. Tell me about things.
Yes, well, first of all, anyone that comes to us, there's a health consultation that they will go through where we'll discuss their health history and what their health goals are, how they're feeling. And that's going to determine the type of plan that we'll develop for them. There's nothing that's pre-mixed in our IV hydration center. It's customized, it's made on site. So that's really a great difference for us, is that we follow the 797 compound rule, which is the highest form of that you can when mixing these fluids. So yes, that's how we do it, is we actually have a one-on-one consultation, and depending on what symptoms you're having, we'll customize the drip for you.
Is there a particular incident of a person that went through this and some transformation came about because of hydration?
It absolutely is. I remember a lady named Tam in 2023 when I first opened, and I met with Tam. She was overweight. Her skin was like leather, just a dull appearance. I could barely start an IV in her. And she told of her love and passion for sweets and her one bourbon at night. That was Tam. When I took her blood pressure, it was extremely high. We proceeded, I developed a plan for her, and she's gone through every treatment and has taken my suggestion. Today, Tam is like my #1 fan. Every time she sees me, she says, "You saved my life." That's all she has to say. And so the wellness and the spark and her skin and just the healthiness that she has, that look. I mean, she's my #1 person that I could say. I mean, no more leather skin, and she's like, "I don't even need sweets anymore, and I don't have to have that bourbon. I feel great."
So who should look into getting hydration? Is it just for, I mean, I know sports people use it sometimes, but what about the everyday person? Who benefits from hydration?
Absolutely, the everyday person. I mean, the everyday person more than everyone else, actually, Wes, in my opinion, because even if you were the best, that you ate organic food, only did the creme de la creme, say, you still need nutrients. We have to start to think about it's not just the food and that you're organic, it's where the food is growing. We're all depleted. Every single one of us. We know, I mean, African Americans alone, we know our vitamin D levels are low. Just because of the melanin in our skin, the sun doesn't penetrate, and we're classically known to have low vitamin D levels. Low vitamin D levels are associated with mood disorders, not sleeping well, poor bones and teeth. Just everyone can benefit from it. We're all depleted. It's never just one and done. Like everything else, consistency is the key.
That's great. That's great. I mean, I know me personally, I am depleted of a lot of vitamins. So this is something
I
that
can help.
this is something that I can definitely use. Okay. Listen, so tell me, what would be something that you would tell somebody who's hesitant? See, I'm not hesitant. I'm ready to go. But if somebody's hesitant about doing this, because after all, having an IV stuck in your arm, people are squeamish about that. So what would you tell somebody that's?
I would tell them that at our location and all the Prime IV location in Atlanta, we only use licensed professionals. So you're stuck by someone who is qualified to work in a hospital. They're qualified to work in my spa. So they've gone through all the training. We have constant ongoing training, safety, and just infection is really paramount for us. So any of the Prime IV locations you're gonna find, you can feel comfortable going to them because we're professionals.
So tell us where the location is again.
Yes. Okay, so my location is located at 4500 West Village Place, Smyrna, Georgia, Suite 2003. So it's 4500 West Village Place in Smyrna.
And so Tia, do we have anyone online with a question? No questions right now. No, okay. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about hydration, IV hydration?
I just want to encourage us to take our health, just make it important. If you don't have a body, where you're gonna live, it's important that we invest in our health. We invest in cars and pocketbooks and everything else. We have to take the time to invest in our health to be the very best that we can be. So I just want to encourage all of us to take matters in your hands and get healthy.
That's a good suggestion right there, because many of us, like you said, spend money on so many other things. And I'm an avid believer that people spend money on what's important to them. So your health has to be important to you to spend the funds. Because is this covered by insurance by any chance?
It's not covered by insurance, but I believe it's affordable for anyone that comes. We do, so it's either, cash pay, of course, or if you have flexible spending accounts or HSA, we do accept those. But I mean, an ounce of prevention is, I forgot what they used to say about that.
Pound of cure.
It's a pound of cure. So come on, prevent and get primed and stay healthy.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Anything else you want to tell the audience?
I mean, I just want to say that it is my passion, being healthy and staying healthy. And we do take the time to, everybody is an individual, so we take time to make up individual health plans for you. It's not a one size fit all. So whatever your personal health goals are, that's what we will work on.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story and about your journey to this wellness spot and about your business. And hopefully people will hear what you're saying and make an appointment to go out and visit your, tell me one more time.
It's 4500 West Village Place, Smyrna, Georgia, Suite 2003. You can also find us on social media. Just put up Prime IV Hydration and Wellness. And my website, just call our office 404-477-4409. Thank you.
Thank you.
We do have a question or comment.
Oh, we do have, okay.
I have a comment. My name is. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I am 79 years young. I consider myself fairly healthy. My outside looks fabulous, but what's more important is taking care of myself inside. I will definitely make an appointment to visit. Anything that can help me be around for my grandchildren, my family, and to live a healthy life. So I will definitely come to your location.
Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you.
Any other questions? Come on, head on up.
Please claim. My name is Amber. I was curious, what's the difference between liquid IV and there's like a service where I think it's like clean air that they would get. Oxygen bar. what's the, is there a contrast in benefits or are the benefits similar? Is that more of a lung versus blood or what would be the difference between a oxygen bar versus a liquid IV?
So I think the oxygen bar is just focusing on the oxygen, and we do give oxygen treatments at our spa. But the liquid IV, the thing is, we're trying to bypass the stomach because that's what the acid content, the health of your stomach and not everybody's digestive system is, you're not able to absorb 100% of the nutrients when you take it orally versus IV. And oxygen bar, we do give oxygen via nasal cannula, just like you would in a hospital. Those oxygen bars, I believe the oxygen is just like blowing through. Not to say that's not great. So we do IV hydration with nutrients, we do weight loss, we do NAD plus and niagen, which is something our community really needs to learn about because that's the great development for anti-aging. And these are all natural nutrients that's found in our bodies that other people have been doing them for years. It's looking young, staying vital, just looking amazing. And it's now trickling down to us. So knowledge is key and we're very different.
Beautiful. And that chemical, the anti-aging chemical?
NAD plus or niagen. So research those. Those are game changers.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's gonna be a game changer for me, because I'll be there for that.
Okay.
Awesome, thank you.
We do have 2 questions from the internet audience.
Go online or asking questions.
Yes, and we actually have quite a few people online too. How many treatments are usually recommended and what should be expected after the first one?
Okay. After the first one, depending on what you're there for, that's what I would measure. It's hard to say exactly what's gonna happen, but you should feel more energy, you should be more hydrated, less fatigue if that's what you have. And treatments, we recommend this once a month. When we give it to you, the nutrients last 14 to 21 days. So once a month or if something happens, say you got sick after you've gotten your last treatment, then we would recommend an immunity armor if it was, especially in this cough and cold season.
Mhm. And the other one is, can you speak to hormones?
Yes, I absolutely can speak to hormones. So we do bioidentical hormone therapy replacement. This is the difference. So ours is a topical ointment that's in 100% organic jojoba oil. Why is that superior? One, it's superior. We don't believe in the pellets. When you do the pellets, that you get it's inserted and it has to be inserted time and time again. So think about the area it's being inserted, that's one. The other thing is when it's initially inserted, you get this surge of all the hormones, and as the days go, the levels drop, so you don't have control. We don't necessarily promote the tablets because estrogen or hormones going through your process through your liver, they can cause imbalance in your clotting system, and then you're at risk for blood clots. And the creams that they have, you have to know what they're mixed in because the solvents that they're mixing, use over time can cause issues. So we do have 100% organic oil. It's balanced, so we do all of them. Women needs 4 of them, men is 2. So yeah, we do hormone therapy replacement.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Now, we're gonna take a break so that we can have our next health, wealth. Wellness.
Denise, we're not gonna take a break, we're just gonna switch, yes? So if you will,
Yes.
switch, and during this change, I would like to share a test. So I'm one of those individuals I think I can do everything that is required for my own health. I exercise regularly, I eat well, and I do a lot of other things. I'm looking at the sister back there who proudly professed that she said 79. Well, I want to grow up to look like her. And I do believe that I'm off to a pretty good start. I have used the services of G. And she said that you can monitor that by the first trip. When I left there, I felt as though I could run a marathon. My brain was clear, I wasn't aching. I know that I am severely vitamin D deficient. I won't take the pills that they have recommended that I take one every week. I won't do that. But I will say and encourage ladies to get involved in your healthcare. It's not about the pocketbooks or the shoes. As a matter of fact, some of the shoes we're wearing are also impacting our body and our physical structure. So don't take light the information we're bringing to you. And again, I'm encouraging all of you who are listening here today to at least go for consultation. I'm also that girl who don't like taking the pill form of vitamins. You heard it. 10 to 20% are being dissolved in our bodies. The question has to be, well, where is the other 80-90%? Well, it's laying there in your liver, not being able to process. And so again, I'm encouraging, and yes, the rates are very, very reasonable. And also, the young lady who's coming up next, I utilized her services. And I just want to do by way of testimony what I believe the combination of the detox that you'll hear about next and the IV hydrations. Several years ago, I was diagnosed with 6 ulcers in my stomach. One of which we've been finding and biopsying about every 3 to 6 months to make sure that it didn't turn to cancer. This was all pre detoxing and taking in the IV hydrations. And by way of testimony, I did go to the doctor on yesterday, had another endoscopy, and to God be the glory, I am healed. I am healed. And it is not because I took the medications and substances that were prescribed by my doctor. So I am very excited to say that I know that you helped me. And once you hear from our next speaker, Ms. Ajay, you're going to say, yeah, Mary is probably correct. So without further ado, I'm passing the mic back to Denise and we're welcoming our next guest. It's a beautiful vote.
Hey, that's young blood there. To be able to come up like that.
Greetings,
Welcome,
everyone.
welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Look, the first thing I need to know before we start anything is your name. Ajay. Hoorah, hoorah. I want you to explain that. It's fascinating.
Ajay in the Yoruba African spirituality means daughter of the golden woman. Adudawa is mother of the golden woman. And then my last name is Ra, which is Wu is for woman, and Ra is for the sun. So that's what I represent.
When I saw that, I was just fascinated. I said, I have to ask that. But let's talk about you. Tell me, who are you? Where did you come from? And start your journey.
I am this way. I am a spiritual being of light. I've always known that there was a lot of difference within me. I was a rebel with a cause at 6 years old. I never stood for the American flag. And I always used to get sent to the principal's office because of it. But God always uses something that someone sets up for your downfall as your good. Because I started working in the principal's office. I was a office aide. I took attendance. I wind up being like the pet to the principal. And so my homeroom teacher, he thought he was doing a disservice by sending me to the office every morning because I would stand for the flag, because I believed at that time, as young as I was, what has this flag done for me and my people? There's a lot of blood on that flag, and why am I standing, nominating and validating
Help the people.
the sacrifices that my ancestors
Thank you again
have
for
shed
bringing
their
your
blood
sense
for?
to your students and
And I'm
dollars.
hanging on my heart. So there's a lot of things that we've been indoctrinated in doing. And from a very small age, I always asked a lot of questions, even in church, even in religion. Because I think we need to be able to understand a lot of things that we've been told is not for our benefit. And it's not for our advancement, and it's not for our elevation. And so I've always been about my people. I worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken at 14 years old. And I remember asking the manager, y'all throw all this food away. And at the time, my mom was living in an apartment complex where there were a lot of hungry people. And I seen them and I knew them. And I coordinated at 14 where all of the chicken would not be sold away, all of the biscuits, all of the corn, all of the everything. The regional manager gave me the first props on it. And I said the community, people usually waited on me to feed the community at that age. And so I was in Brooklyn, New York is where we're from, and then my mother is in New Jersey. And so very early on, I've always been an activist for my people. I love melanated people because I love myself. And so it brought me into this work that I do now, which is for the mind, body, soul healing of our people so we can rise back into our royalty. So that's my purpose and that's who I am.
Okay. So tell me, how did the wellness journey begin? How did you get into that? Just do what you're doing today. Where
Yes.
did the journey start?
It started for me in my 20s. I had acid reflux. I had gastrointestinal inflammation. I had thyroid issues. And by me always being a petite woman, my mom is only 4'11" and I'm only 5 feet. So I come from, my grandmother is only 5 feet and she's 92 years old. And come from very strong genes, but sometimes when women are petite, we think we can do everything, eat 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, because we don't gain the weight. Of course, sometimes you can have hypothyroidism, which you have an overactive thyroid, and then sometimes you can have hypothyroidism, which you have an underactive thyroid. And in my 20s, I was diagnosed with hyperthyroidism, and they wanted to remove my thyroid. And I began to get radiation in my throat, in my thyroid, and they were giving me hormonal replacements, and my body just started rejecting it. I went from hyperthyroidism to hypo by this radiation that they were giving me. And my spirit said, they're going to kill you if you keep allowing them, keep following them and what they're saying. You already know what you have to do. It's just going to include change. And I began to study and look into naturopathic wellness. And I got connected with Dr. Akila from Celestial Healing in Sandy Springs. She was an African holistic doctor, and she was able to help me balance my TSH levels with herbal medicine. And that's how I got into herbal medicine, because I was able to heal myself and keep my thyroid. And my primary care doctor is from Emory, and at the time she was a little older than me, and I began to do my herbal medicine, and she couldn't believe the change, the transformation that my body started going through. And I began to study it, and I began to empower myself with the knowledge of healing myself. And all of us are our own healers. No doctor can heal you. A doctor can assist you. A doctor can diagnose you. A doctor can prescribe medication for you, but a doctor cannot heal you. Healing is of yourself. You have to make a choice every day to heal and to value your health and wellness. So that's 38 years old. I found out once I healed myself, I was going strong. And of course, wanting to heal my family and my friends. And it became a passion of mine because I see how this society is definitely against that. And that allowed me to know that we're still being attacked through our health and through our wellness. When you drive through our community, all you see is death. You see liquor stores, you see Church's Chicken, you see Popeyes, you see Chick-fil-A, you see American Deli, but you don't see wellness. And so I wanted to put a wellness studio and center where people can welcome themselves into wellness just like they welcome themselves into everything else.
You know, what's important for people to understand too is that just like when we go to the doctor, they might prescribe something. Going to a wellness practitioner is something that's prescribed too, because we can't always be like you and learn how to heal ourselves, but we have people like you who can tell us what we need to do. I mean, I would look at doing things holistically if I knew how to go about it. And so your passion turned into a business and your purpose in your business. So tell me about the business. It's called the Sweet Spot.
It's called the Sweet Spot, Detox Boutique and Wellness Studio. And at the time I had a partner and her and I came up with that concept because what hesitates African American people from healing and health and wellness is what you're saying. A lot of people have forgotten traditional modalities and practices because a lot of times now you don't see grandmothers around who would be able to instill that knowledge and that wisdom inside of you. We have younger grandparents now, which I'm one of them. I have 2 grandchildren myself, but I was a young grandmother, but it's because of my wisdom I have helped my daughter with my grandsons and have helped my son. But because of that, you know, what I want to say, because we're missing our eldership in our community, we have less direction and less guidance. And so we have to be busy about our business of teaching and sharing each other, which is why I became a wellness coach. Because when you come to Sweet Spot, you don't just steam, you don't just detox. We heal first and we find out what is the root of someone's sickness? What is the root of someone's imbalance? What is the root of someone's illness? Because disease is just imbalance in the system, of imbalance in your nervous system, your digestive system, your endocrine system, your lymphatic system, your cellular system. That's all disease is. But the Most High have made the body so phenomenal that it can reverse the disease as well, but you have to participate in that process. And so that's what we coach people through, because not all people are going through the same things, but a lot of times for African American people, we're emotionally imbalanced. A lot of us are going through a lot of stressful times right now. And when you talk about emotional imbalance, that's not something that this world, this society really allows us to embrace. But we have been traumatized in a lot of different ways.
Absolutely.
And so we start off at a disparity than other cultures. We deal with different things on a daily basis. Other cultures don't know what our walk looks like every day from the time we get up in the morning to the time we go to bed at night. And so what brought me into opening the Sweet Spot, I wanted to open something sweet. I think that people look at health and healing like a task or something that is very standoffish, but healing is very sweet. And once you're healthy, you're sweet. You're better in your moods, you're better in your mannerisms, you're better in your habits, you're better in your thought processes. You speak to people different, you interact with people different, your vibration is higher, your frequency is higher, you're kind, you're compassionate, you're considerate, you're understanding. You're just sweet. And so we want healing to be sweet. We want people to invest in their health in a sweet way.
That's phenomenal. I understand what you're saying about us being, or today we have younger grandparents. I know that my grandparents, my grandmother, they were able to go out in the yard and pick herbs and things that they needed to, to keep their families healthy, which we don't have anymore. And then you see so many things online. Take this, take turmeric for inflammation. You don't know the right combinations. So we need to have a coach. And I think that's so important that people understand that. Is that correct?
We need guidance and direction, because one thing that this society has made us all believe is that we have arrived because we went through 12 years of their education, and then we came out and went to their schooling. But as we can see now, that really has not advanced us in what we need to be concerned about. And so we need the knowledge of how we need to take care of ourselves. We have different blood types. Our DNA is different. Our genetic makeup is different. Our overall structure as melanated people is different. And so a lot of the medication and a lot of the foods that have been created, they demean our system. Latino women can eat rice and beans and all of these things all day long. Caucasian people have a diet that they can eat. Asian people have a diet that they can eat. But most times when Black people are eating the soul food that we love so very much, because it reminds us of the tradition of our grandmothers, of our ancestors, and a lot of times they is who taught us how to cook. But again, the diabetes, the hypertension, the high blood pressure, the high cholesterol, all of those things is passed down. So when people say that disease is genetic, disease is not genetic. Our habits are genetic. What we do are genetic. And so if grandmama ate like that, and she taught you how to eat, and she taught you how to cook, and now you're eating like that, you're cooking like that, you're using those ingredients. Now you're teaching your daughter how to do that, and your son, and then they teach their kid. That's how the disease is following us. And so what I coach people to do is not that that's a bad thing, because food was very different then. We're not eating the same farm with grandmother. When you say about them doing all of the herbalism and the farming, they loved on their food. They loved their animals. They took care of the animals, and the animals felt that energy and that vibration. That's not happening now. And so if we were ever to go to the slaughterhouses and see what's really going on with this food, we would eat the way that we do, which is causing us a lot of disease and sickness.
Absolutely correct. So tell me, what are the services that you offer at the Sweet Spot?
Well, the best and sweetest service is the vaginal steam, because the Black woman's womb is the most sweetest place on the entire world, in this entire universe. Everyone has came through a Black woman's womb as well. We're the mother of every culture. There's not a culture that's here in existence that is not here by way of a Black woman's womb. And so we have the spiritual blueprint. We're the spiritual gateway from the spiritual realm, and we birth into the physical realm. And the one thing that Spirit has given me just as a download and a message is that we're worried about our face, we're worried about our hair, we're worried about how we look in our body structure, but we don't really worry about our womb until there's a problem. And that is a sickness. Because that is not the time that you worry about something so beautiful, something that you came through here. You need to do preventive maintenance. And so that's what I teach people. That's what I coach women. Let's get to the root cause of what's causing you to have PMS, what's causing you to have menopause, what's causing you to go into early menopause, perimenopause, postmenopause, what's causing postpartum depression, what's causing the trauma. And that's a conversation that we have to have, and it has to be sweet because it comes from love. And who else can best sit at a Black woman's feet but a Black woman? Because I know your walk, because I have had a walk as well. And a lot of times when we talk, we're walking the same path, but we need to come together to be able to talk about how we can support each other in that walk.
So how young should the vaginal steaming begin?
Vaginal steam can start as early when a young girl starts her menstrual cycle, because that's when our ancestors, our elders would have started women celebrating their womanhood. It actually was a part of a rites of passage. So it was a celebration, just like they have period parties now when girls start their menstrual cycle. We used to go through a rites of passage where elder women would teach you, guide you, and direct you how your body is going to begin to change. You're going to start to have a cycle. Your breasts are going to start budding. Your hips are going to start coming out. You know, just different things that we need to know to celebrate our womanhood, not look at it as an extra task or anything stressful. I meet so many women in their older age like, oh, I hated my cycle. Your cycle is your power. No one ever told us that. When you bleed, is where you're releasing toxicity and your body is resetting and renewing and rejuvenating and replenishing itself. But this society has told us to look at that very negatively. And so again, it's kind of like we go against our own sweet spot. And why would we do that? It's because we don't have the knowledge.
And the knowledge is so important because, you know, women who develop fibroids and all of these different diseases, as you say, you know, come about because you're not taking care of other aspects of our body.
Absolutely, absolutely. We disregard, we ignore, we avoid, we're shameful. Sometimes it's embarrassing to tell somebody that you may be having womb issues. You know, just like mental health, we focus on that as well, because a lot of times when you are mentally imbalanced, it will disturb your womb as well. And when you're imbalanced in your womb, it will disturb your mental imbalance. And so that's why a lot of times when when women are in menopause, they have a lot of mood swings, a lot of mental health challenges as well, because the womb is your core. She's your nucleus. She is your circumference as a woman. The only reason why you are a woman is because of your womb. That's the root word of woman is womb. And they took the B out of it so we don't recognize how powerful it is. But our womb is what makes us a woman. So any type of imbalance that happens within the womb is going to imbalance your entire equilibrium.
So you talked about different stages of, you know, womanhood that can benefit from this. So after you have your period, after you go into menopause, tell me the benefits there.
Well, if you are perimenopausal or menopausal or postmenopausal, you need to ensure that your hormones are balanced. As women, that is a direct task that we have for the rest of our lives, is to make sure we're hormonally imbalanced. And so, balanced. So you hear Sister Jean was just up here talking about hormonal replacement. A lot of times, if we were taking care of ourselves better, we wouldn't need to replace hormones. We would be getting all of the nutrients, the minerals, the vitamins that we need on a daily. But this American diet does not provide that for us. And so when I coach women into their diet, dairy and sugar and meat are the three enemies of the womb. And that's because they have a lot of steroids, they have a lot of parabens, they have a lot of impurities, they have a lot of toxicity that you're consuming in your body, and that is definitely filtering into your blood. And so then you start having womb issues, because womb is definitely connected to blood. And so we take your blood type, you got to eat for your blood type. A lot of our people don't even know what their blood type is.
That's important.
That is very important. And that's why now they charge you to know what your blood type is. The only time you can really get a free blood type test is if you've had a baby or you've had surgery. But they don't let us know that at that time either. And so again, I'm O blood type, which is the oldest blood type on the planet. And we can give everybody blood, but we can't take blood from everybody. And so that's the one service that we have. We have the vaginal steam. We do men as well, which is the A steam. Because we need men to be holistically well as well. And the herbs is just going through the anal. You and I, we have two portals. We have a vaginal canal and we have an anal canal. So the herbs and the vapors are going to go through those two canals and release themselves into the bloodstream. And then once the herbs are in the bloodstream, they go to all the organs and release the toxicity through sweat.
Well, I'm glad to know that there is a place that we as Black women and men can come and actually learn about it. Because I know some of the spas, like the Korean spas, they have the steam, vaginal steaming, but nobody explains what it is. And we run up there and we're doing this, but we don't even know why. So, I mean, this is just so good to be able to understand where we need to go, to get it.
And why?
And why, of course, why.
Mhm.
So, and you talked about what other services besides the steaming, the hormone, what?
The A seam, the V seam is for the women, the A seam is for the men. We do ionic foot detox, which is your root chakra area, which is your feet. A lot of times when people go have diabetes, the nerves start going in the feet first. And so we don't pay attention enough to our feet. Dr. Parker talked about that today. It's like the feet is very important. It carries all of your weight on your body. And a lot of times people are in the shower. A lot of women don't take baths like they need to. The womb has to be submerged in water. Grandmother always had us in the bath. And now we have gotten so into this convenience. So now we want to hop in and hop out, but the womb has to be submerged in water in order
Did
for
you
her
hear
to
that?
release.
Because
Yes.
I know most of us take showers and do not bathe on a regular basis. And that's news. That's something good. That's some good.
That's old school. That's old school. And so vaginal steaming is another bath. It's a herbal bath. It's the herbs going in through the potency of hydrotherapy. Just like, Sister Jean talked about the IV. You got colon hydrotherapy and you got vaginal hydrotherapy. And so water is power. And so the heat is allowing the moisture to carry the herbs and the vapors up into your skin. We got to get them into your tissues. We have to get them through the pores. We have to get them released into the bloodstream. And then from the blood takes it to the organ and it detoxifies all your system. And so every woman needs to be able to at least experience it. And from there, your spirit will tell you what you need to do. It's not me that's healing you. Your womb will say, oh my God, when you get off that pot, be like, I feel like a brand new woman. And that is why they do it in the Asian spa bathhouses. It's just been kept away from us.
So tell me about insurance. Do you take insurance or is this an out-of-pocket way of getting this information that we need in the therapy and the services?
We do. I tell women all the time that is connected to any kind of corporate insurance plan to always sign up for the Cafeteria 125 plan. And when you do that, you will have pre-tax dollars coming out of your check for your health and wellness. And they will give you a flex spend account or a healthcare savings account, which is your FSA card or your HSA card. And we accept both of those. We accept them for products and services because we're not on the spa side. We're on the health and wellness side. So yes, that is a plan that you can get through any insurance carrier, whether it's an HMO or a PPO, and then they'll send you your card and your co-pays and all of that is taken care of.
So it's important to you that this information about wellness is affordable to the community.
Absolutely. We've had the same price for 10 years. We started in 2014 at $85. You're there for 2 hours. So really, the service is on me because it's really about the healing for me and being able to have conversations, meaningful conversations with Black women who look like me. Because a lot of times when we see each other out in the public, we don't relate to each other well based on what's going on in our lives. But to sit and have a very relative conversation with a Black woman and y'all love on each other, support each other, uplift and motivate each other, that's healing. And so we come in and do that first, foremost, and then we do the service. But yes, it's $85. It's been $85 for 10 years. We just went up last year to $99. And all of my members who've been with me for all that time is grandfathered in at $85. Because it's really not about the money for me. Because money is not the real currency, time is. So for me to spend 2 hours with you to help you get better in your health and wellness, mind, body, and soul, that's the real currency. So really the price tag is on me.
Do we have any questions?
Yes.
It was so good, I'm sorry, it was just getting so good. So I'll ping pong with the chat.
Mhm.
It's like over 100 people viewing this conversation.
Show up, family, show up.
Yeah, that's very important, and it's so much weight in this conversation, so I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm gonna ping pong with the chat because I have a few questions. So let's see what you got first here.
Can you go over, I'm loud, girl. Can you go over creating or maintaining hormonal balance for menopause women, particularly those who continue to consume sugar? I was gonna say that's me too.
I would say if you're going to commit to eating sugar, by the way, it's like eating crack cocaine. You just gotta keep it real about what sugar is. It's sweet, but it's not sweet to the soul. And it gets into our blood and it just unravels so many parts of us, which is why everything contains sugar. But short story is detox. Detox, family, is our answer. If we're gonna eat the meat, if we're gonna eat the cheese, if we're gonna eat the sugar, we're gonna eat the chicken wings and all of that we know is intoxicating our body. We have to make detox an important part of our lives. There's no way you can intoxicate and don't detoxicate. That's already an imbalance right there. So if you know how much you intoxicate, how much you eat the sugar, then you should be drinking the teas, you should be doing your detox fast, you should be grounding your feet to the earth, you should be in the sauna, you should be going to get IV drips, you should be doing vaginal steam, you should be doing colonics, you should be eating. When you're not eating sugar, you should be eating vibrant, healthy, live vegetables and fruits. That's what you should be doing if you don't want to leave the sugar alone. But if you come to me, we gonna get you off that sugar.
Yes.
Ping pong.
So, one of my earlier questions was, how do you determine if a thyroid is hypo or hyperactive? And is that related to the throat chakra?
It definitely is the throat chakra. But hypo, you're going to be very lethargic. You're going to be very de-energized. You're not going to be vibrant. You're not going to be highly energetic. You're going to be tired a lot when you're hypothyroid because you're underactive, your thyroid. And know that your thyroid is your thermostat. It regulates your hormones. And that's why the throat chakra and the sacral chakra, they love together. So the thyroid affects the womb and the womb affects the thyroid because they're both associated with hormones. And so definitely, I would say get your tests. The only thing that we really need medical professions for right now, family, is testing. Diagnosis. Once we get the diagnosis, once we get the testing, because they got the machinery that I don't have, right? But once they get that, make sure you see a naturopathic doctor, a homeopathic doctor, and get a second opinion of what you can be doing naturally to counteract what they told you that you're doing unnaturally. That's what you need to do. That's a self-care tip. So yes. Were you finished, Sister Amber?
I'm bouncing off the list.
Okay, okay.
Yes, my dear.
Okay, first of all, I would like to recognize my homegirl, you from Brooklyn? or-
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
And I need to know your location. Cause I'm coming next week. And for $99 for 2 hours, that's the best deal I've heard of. You spend that on a dinner for two.
That's less than nails.
Take that $99 and invest in yourself and your health. I've never heard of the steam, what is it, the
Vaginal steam, vaginal hypertension.
That's why I come today, always to this event monthly, because I get knowledge.
Yes,
And
yes.
this is extremely informative for me.
Thank you
So
so
you give me your location, I'll be there next week.
Yes, yes. Sweet Spot has been in the West End for 11 years. We've been at Mid Atlanta for 10 years. We just moved over to Lee and White Street off the Beltline for a year, and we're getting ready to move. Actually, tomorrow we'll be moving into Pittsburgh Yards, and so we're still on the Beltline. And I could just give you a testimony that Spirit had me bridging beauty and wellness, because I have a new mission where I have to get these young girls, as much as you are about your beauty, I need you to be as prioritized about your womb too.
Just as Spelman.
Yes, I was just at Spelman last Tuesday. We spoke at Clark Atlanta University, and so many of my young girls need so much direction. Of course, the colleges is not feeding them healthy food, so they were talking to me, Ms. Ajay, we get all unhealthy food, so all of our menstrual cycles is heavy, clotty, just having problems, and definitely going to the doctor and getting contraceptives to lessen the blood, but also now the contraceptives is having a side effect. So definitely getting to my young girls about that, but we need to be able to be healthier. And so we speak to a lot of different plethoras of health. Health is not just one thing. And so we definitely want everyone to be well-rounded in their health and wellness too.
Is there one last question?
I got one last internet question. So they said, you said about your body needs to be submerged in water.
Your
And
womb,
your
yes.
womb. And of course, most people take showers, so they want to know, how often should they be taking baths?
Every woman should be in a tub at least 2 to 3 times a week. 2 to 3 times a week, family. Your womb, and I get a lot of, Ajay, I don't like the dirt ring that I see around the tub. The dirt ring is the toxin. So that's what's coming out of your largest organ, which is your skin. So that's not something you should be looking down at. That should be like a great thing. Like, I want to soak in the tub, because when I see that rain, I know all of that was in my body. How else would it have gotten out if you didn't submerge yourself in water? And so we as women have to be in that bathtub, and we have bath detox. I've created a product line. We're getting ready to be in Seven Nanda. We've created a womb wellness product line where we have your yoni oil, we have your yoni bath, we have your foot detox, we have your yoni pearls, which is your suppositories when you have candida, you have bacterial vaginosis, you have any type of odor. Because one thing that women are very, very shameful about is odor in the womb. But I coach women that the odor is coming from what you eat. So if you eat a lot of fish, guess what? What's she gonna do? She's gonna smell like what you eat. So it's not, a big thing about odor. I get women, let's get away from that, because a lot of women are in secret about because they have odor. Even sometimes men have odor. When you pass gas and it's odorous, it's because of what's in your colon, what's in your small and large intestine. That's a sign that I need a detox. I need a cleanse. And so, yes, taking baths 2 to 3 times a week would be great for a woman. And a bath is a form of detoxification.
Tell us the address one more time where we can come.
Right now, we're at this last week, we're at 1,000 White Street, Atlanta, Georgia, 30310, Suite 200. We're inside Baya Studios. But like I said, we'll be moving to 352 University Avenue in Pittsburgh Yards because it's a lot more privacy. And I teach classes and different things and have workshops. I don't just sing people, I'm more of a coach and coaching women on their holistic wellness journey more than anything else. So I wanted to get somewhere, being so I had my own facility for 10 years, I need to have a lot of space because we need a lot of things. And I want to make sure I'm able to provide different things, speakers and workshops and classes for women to get the guidance and direction. And men as well. That's my new mission, is to make sure my brothers is holistically healthy and well as well. Because sisters, we can be well, but our brothers, we have to make sure they're well as well because they connect with us. They go into your womb. And so if you're in detox and he's intoxicated, what we doing?
Exchanging toxins.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
May I?
Yes, your last.
I'm just.
Your final question.
Okay. Keep it going, okay? It's loaded. Okay, so you mentioned we lack eldership in our community. How do we work towards building that eldership and in tandem with youth prevention of misinformation and lack of information about womb wellness? Like, how can we couple what the elders know with what the youth need and bringing that into one space?
Well, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get to a new space. So we can start having community events that bridge that gap, and have those conversations. But right now, what I am doing, I am beginning pampering in the senior living centers and connected with seniors. You can go volunteer at a nursing home. A lot of our seniors are alone right now, family, and we have to make sure we work on that. We had Baba Heru, who was a renowned healer since the 70s, who passed last week, and he died in a New York basement apartment by himself. We can't have that. We can't have that. We have to bridge this gap because we need their wisdom. We need the elders' knowledge. You know, I don't have any but one grandmother left, and me and her are, 1,000 miles away. So I don't get the knowledge. When I go sit with her, it's like I want to drink her everything. It's like I want everything out of her in case I don't never get back to her. I need to know what she needs to leave me, for my bloodline, for my lineage, for my daughter, for my nieces. So it's almost like I just don't want nobody else to talk to her that lives there because I need to resonate with her. And so I love elders because of that, because I feel like my level of wisdom came from being close to elders. I have a lot of elders. Sister Sandy is one of the elders that I tap into. Dr. Parker is an elder that I definitely look up to. I have about Mama Yah. I have like 4 or 5 elders because my spirit was like, where y'all going without the elders? You're doing nothing without the elders because you don't know enough. You haven't been here long enough. You haven't experienced what elders have experienced, and you don't have the knowledge that elders had. And we need to be able to revere our elders' knowledge and wisdom. So I'm working on that as we speak of bridging that gap. But I've pampered in homeless centers for a long time, and I got to engage with a lot of elders. So they are on my heart. And now Spirit has me going back into senior living centers to make sure elders are pampered and they feel good about themselves. Absolutely. Absolutely, sister.
You gonna take us out?
Anything else you would like to say? I've been so good.
Phenomenal.
Thank you, sister. I just want to definitely acknowledge Dr. Parker and the Mary Parker Foundation for welcoming me and inviting me into this space. I've taken a lot of expertise and wisdom from Dr. Parker. I took her class on business entrepreneurship, which was how we bonded. Now she's a client of mine and I sit at her feet and I'm so honored because I and rejuvenate and replenish herself. And she's so beautiful in mind, body, and spirit, what she does for the community. And I just want to send a message out for our community. Let's put our health first. Beyond anything else, the best thing that you could do right now with all that's going on in the world is be healthy. Because without your health, anything political, anything social, anything financial, it's really not going to matter to you at all if you're not healthy, mind, body, and soul. And so if it's not with me, just start researching, start doing some and implementing some change in your lifestyle, in your diet, getting out and getting in the sun, sitting on the earth, drinking your water, just doing your things. We got to start doing the things, Black people. We got to start doing the things. We can't just keep talking about so many things. People are always wanting to talk about what position are we in, but how are we going to get out of it? Let's talk. Let's have that conversation. So I thank Dr. Parker for that.
Thank you so much for coming and sharing your story.
Yes.
Dr. Parker, would you like to say something?
Yes, it would. Today was absolutely phenomenal. And it is today by the number of people that we have online viewing this conversation. So expect your business to increase as a result of the information you have imparted within all of us today. And yes, I am. I am so proud and I'm so happy that God would use a class for your business to bring us together. And I remember the first thing you looked at me, you said, we've got to get your eyes clear. There's some things going on and we've got to get it fixed. And because of that, I know that it works. And just as Sister Jean said a few minutes ago about the pills that we take, the absorption levels, well, it's the same thing with the detox. You know, I'm one of those girls. I do at least 5 days a week. I will get in that bathtub and just immerse myself in the hottest of waters, along with some of the ingredients, the bath ingredients that she has created for us. So the invitation to go visit Sweet Spot, that is one of the best gifts that you can give yourself. And also, I'm very, very happy that most of the people around me, once I learned about the services, I gave them a gift of better living. That was my granddaughter Amber speaking earlier, and I know that many of you didn't see her. But since she's been under Audrey's treatment, she also, I know it more in her energy and the things that she's doing, but she was also a pretty sick girl when she started going there, and I'm grateful for her help as well. And I know that each of you, we are in a movement of supporting each other. It's all about collaboration. You know, right out here where we are on Campbellton Road, we were first identified as a food desert, but the longer I've been here, I realize that it is also a health desert as well. This is why I'm spending the time researching the resources that's going to bring a better wellness to our community. So for those of you who have heard us, and especially you ladies that were asking questions about menopause, don't take any of this lightly. It is true, and we know that the good things that comes from the earth, they are better for us. Those substances that, and I am not by any means telling anyone to take my advice or any of the speakers' advice today over your doctors. We're just asking you to incorporate the information about other alternatives into a better wellness plan for yourself. So with that, I so appreciate all that's been said here today. I thank you, my sister. I thank you for introducing me to other methods of good living. And To my dear sister Denise DeBurse-Gines. I love you, girl, and I thank you for stepping up to the plate anytime we called you for your services. So may God bless, continue to bless you with all the things that you're doing. And to our community. You know, I very seldom come without a clarion call. I'm expecting both Ajay and Jean to call me with a resounding confirmation that today the time they have spent with us was well worth it. I'm counting on you all. Stay tuned. There's far more to come from the Mary Parker Foundation right here at 2800 Campbellton Road. Please don't be shy. Visit our website at the Mary Parker Foundation .org as well as Junction 2800. We are planning some great things for the community as well, and you are a big part of it. Thank you all. God bless you. Have a wonderful day on purpose.